Alright, so we're up to game 3 now. Playing against Sean. In this scenario, it's kind of weird, but what it is the table's divided up into quarters, and whoever controls each of the monoliths gets points. He's playing Tomb Kings with a Wood Elf detachment. As you can see, there's a bunch of Shabdi with the Strength 6 bows, 2 Skull Catapults, and then his detachment is the Weight Watchers and just some Elven Archers. And again, you can see a big block of skeletons, 2 more skeletons shooting. And then here's kind of where I deployed. The allies came on after everything else got deployed, so he got first turn. So I'll see you after Tomb King's turn 1. Alright, so we just finished Tomb King's turn 1. No charges. All of his guys just kind of turned to look at my Dark Elves. In the magic phase, you can see that. In the magic phase, he went for a, I guess I'm just showing those other guys over on the other side. Sorry. In the magic phase, he went for the big 5-up ward bubble, total powering it, getting it off, but then he did Dimensional Cascade, killing a couple of Shabdi, but did not suck his own dude up into the warp. So that's good for him. In the shooting phase, he killed off like one crossbow guy, and then 2 harpies, which caused them to panic and are fleeing off the board. And the skull catapult did 4 wounds to that one Terrorgeist, and the other one misfired, and so it can't shoot this turn or the next. And those glaive guard shot at my Vargeists, doing 2 wounds to them. So we're off to Vampire Counts turn 1. Alright, so we just finished Vampire Counts turn 1. I just kind of marched my guys up. Found out that this is a Blood Forest. And, yep, just moved everybody up. No charges. Vargeist flew over to there. Spirit Hosts are going to go deal with some Wood Elves. And, in the Magic phase, I got a, I tried to Spear Leech his Hierophant. That didn't work, but then he used all the dice dispelling that, so I got to heal up my Terrorgeist a bunch, so he's got 5 wounds left, and got 15 zombies back into this main bunker unit. And then, so in the shooting phase, I shot all my crossbow guys at his Hierophant. He forgot to keep his guy 3 inches away for a lookout, sir. He's dead. Crumble killed an Ushanti, and Skull Catapult. And just so you know that this big pyramid thing in the middle is impassable. That's why I'm kind of not moving around it. So we're at Tomb King's turn 2. So we just finished Tomb King's turn 2. He had no charges. Over here, his Weight Watchers, or War Dancers, sorry, were stupid in the Fungus Forest and decided to walk out of it. And his other guys didn't. Nobody else moved. So in the magic phase, he did a Ray of Light from the casket, doing I believe it's 2 wounds to my Terrorgeist, jumping to that one, doing nothing, and then killing a couple of zombies, and then failing to jump to that one. And then that was the end of his magic phase, because I shot everything down. And so going into the shooting phase, his Glaive Guard shot the hell, and his skeletons shot the hell out of my Vargeists. He's got 1 wound left, but he's facing his table edge. And that was all of his turn. So it's looking like it's going to be Vampire Counts turn 2. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 2. My charges were Graveguard into those skeletons because I was 7 inches away. And so my 2 Terrorgeist also were going to make it in because they needed an 8 and 9 to get in. Over here, my Spirit Host charged at his War Dancers and his Glaive Guard. They all ran. My Vargeist charged at his Glade Guard again to make him to force him off the table. And in Magic phase, oh, by the way, my Graveguard did not make that charge. In the Magic phase, it was a small Magic phase. I cast Doom and Darkness. I got his scroll out, but that was it. That was essentially the entire Magic phase. So in that combat, my 2 Terrorgeist make it, but my Graveguard rolled a 3, where I needed to get a 7. And so my Terrorgeist both made it in like champions. With the screams and all my attacks, I killed 8 skeletons. And so he killed 2 Terrorgeists. So he won that combat. And my Graveguard are just horrid. I mean, that would have been a completely wipeout fight if my Graveguard would have made it in. And my crossbow guys did 1 wound to Ashanti. And so we are off to Tomb King's turn 3. So we just finished Tomb King's turn 3. His charges were Ashanti into my Dark Elves, and I fled. Nothing else. Weight Watchers reformed. War Dancers reformed. The rest of his skeletons shot the hell out of my Vargeist, doing only 1 wound and killing him. The other ones did 1 wound to my Graveguard. Nothing happened in the magic phase. Nothing else happened in the shooting. So we're off to Vampire Counts turn 3. Alright, so we just finished Vampire Counts turn 3. My charges were my Graveguard. Finally made that charge where they needed to roll 6. So they got in on those skeletons. I had no other charges. I just kind of moved my ghost up accordingly like they are to try and get those guys in the back corner there. In the magic phase, all I did was cast Van Hell's Dance on my Graveguard and cast Curse of the Years at his skeletons, killing like 5. In the my Dark Elves failed to rally, and so they ran off the board. And I just stored 2 dice. And in combat, those Graveguard ended up winning combat by 21 against the skeletons, and so they overran into the flank of the Ushabti. So we're off to the Tomb King's turn 4. So we just finished Tomb King's turn 4. He had no charges. We found out that was an Earth Bog Mirror or whatever, so it gives him +1 regen on his skeletons. He had no charges again. His guys are just kind of hanging out over there. In the magic phase, he did the Ray of Light or whatever, killing some zombies. And then he tried to do a Spirit Leech on my level 1, and I dispelled that. In the shooting phase, he just shot down some more zombies. And in this combat over here, I ended up winning by 17, I believe. So that there's only those 4 guys left there on that flank. So we're off to Vampire Counts turn 4. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 4. My only charges were skeletons into Ashanti, and then over on the other side, my Spirit Host charged into his War Dancers, failing, falling into the Stupid Forest, and my zombies are moving up to the monolith. On the in combat, I wiped out the Ashanti, so we're off to Tomb King's turn 5. So Tomb King's turn 5 just happened. In his crumble test, his casket blew up, and some skeletons died, but over here the Weight Watchers are making way to the monolith. In the magic phase, he total powered Siphon Spirit Leech, and killed my level 1, and shot down a couple of Graveguard. He did the large cascade again, not getting sucked into warp, but we're off to Vampire Counts turn 5. So just finished Vampire Counts turn 5. I charged my skeletons into his skeletons. Ended up just beating him down and overrunning into his next block of skeletons. And over here, my Spirit Host made it into his War Dancers. And those Spirit Hosts are kind of dumb in the forest, and my zombies are still slowly moving it up. I ended my turn because right now I'm controlling 2 of the monoliths and contesting 1. So just finished Tomb King turn 6. Nothing happened. No spells could go off. He caressed Lenef, my unit champion, and I killed all his skeletons except for his priest there that's in the flank, and those guys are sticking around. So we're off to Vampire Counts turn 6. Alright, so I apparently forgot to take a video of turn 6 because, again, it was just pressed for time. But it just ended up that I issued a challenge with my Skeleton Champion against his Tomb Prince caster dude. He accepted, nobody did any wounds to each other, and then he crumbled to death. And the Spirit Host ended up killing the doing like 1 or 2 wounds to the War Dancers. They fled off the table. My zombies moved up. I controlled all 4 of the monoliths, and I completely wiped his army out. I only got 19 points because I didn't massacre him. I only doubled his points, not tripled. But it was a really fun game. He had some pretty bad luck. I mean, the big thing was his Hierophant moving that guy out of the Lookout Sir range to just take a bunch of repeater crossbow shots. And I mean, my only bad luck in that game was the not passing that charge on my Graveguard. But this was one of my favorite scenarios, just because it really changed up how deployment worked in the game, and yeah, I really like this scenario. It felt more like whoever has the most monoliths will get the most points, kind of thing. And that if we each start with 2, you just gotta go crazy and wipe them out like that. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I really like that game. So thanks for watching.